Hello, hello, Facebook friends. JP here, coming to you live from Jenkintown, Pennsylvania. How's everyone doing? I'm gonna wait a couple seconds because it's been a little bit and I have a couple things that I want to talk to you guys about. So if you're on the replay, let me know. Be sure to comment and tell me that so I can be sure to say, hey, what's going on? And if you're live, I see some of you guys popping on now. If you can let me know where you're tuning in from. And if you're live watching, that would be great because I miss you guys. I miss so many of your faces. I've been live so much on interviews and inside personal Facebook groups, but I have not been live for a little bit right here on my page. Yo, Jody, how's it going? Hey, Ryan. Whoops, I'm going to not do that and get distracted. So I'll get right to it. I don't want to make you guys wait. And I'm totally off the cuff like I usually am. Let's be real. But I titled this, Did He Really Just Say That? Hey, Edward. Hey, Kevin. Okay, so hey, Susan from Texas. Awesome. Okay, so I titled this, Did He Really Just Say That? And before I kind of explain what that's all about, let me just tell you guys that this summer, it flies by. I'm sure any of you that are parents can absolutely agree with that. And even if you're not a parent, you know that time flies like so fast. But I was doing a lot of traveling this summer, and some of you may have seen some of my stories on Instagram or on here on Facebook. And all last week I was down south in the Georgia, Atlanta area. And I was getting so many questions in my inbox. What are you doing down there? And my gosh, are you ever even home? I feel like you're traveling all over. Do you have to travel for work? And are you traveling for fun? And what are you doing? And how's summer been? And, all those good questions. And I want to say this, okay? Let me say this, that there's a huge shift that's happening, and it's been happening for quite some time, that if you're online, if you're a digital nomad or an online entrepreneur or a network marketer or an affiliate marketer or whatever, and you're trying to sell a product or promote yourself, there's a shift happening. I don't know if you guys are noticing this. Drop me a 1 in the comments if you notice that your engagement is really, really low. You maybe go live all the time. Maybe you do these phenomenal viral posts or are an amazing content creator, but you notice that your content is really, really low. And by the way, stick with me because this is not really what I'm going to talk about, but I think this is a point that I need to make as well. There's a reason for that. Facebook is, everything's always changing. Social media world is always changing. So whether you use social media for fun and networking and catching up with friends and family, or you use it for business, you're going to probably notice that people are not seeing your stuff very much. A couple weeks ago, it was only 6% of your friends and followers are seeing your content. And as of last week, it's only 2 to 5% of people are actually seeing what you're spending all this time, crafting, creating, promoting, posting. And so I haven't been as active on here because when I notice things like that happening, I try to spend my time as wisely as I can, maximize my time to get maximum efforts. And that doesn't always mean, working so hard. It's more like working smart. And so wanted to first say that. And then I wanted to say this. So the traveling piece, jumping back to that. I was traveling for fun, but work and what I do for business is fun. So I can't really pull apart the two. I can't say that I was traveling for business, but not for pleasure or fun, because it is one and the same for me. And that's just the way I choose to live my life. And that's why I do what I do. But what did he just say? Or did he really just say that? The title of this video has to do with my son, my little boy, and just mind-blowing realizations, you guys, that I never, ever in a million years expected that what I do and all that he's seeing and just watching his mommy talking to the people she talks to and doing the things that she does, had no idea the drastic impact on so many different levels that this would have on this little boy. So just quick backstory. So I have been I have a few businesses online. One of my businesses is I've been building it for the last year. And my son is, spending all this summer with me. We're at home, we're traveling, we're doing all this fun mommy and kiddo stuff. And so he's had a lot more time than even during the school year to actually see and hear and witness what it is that I'm building and what I'm doing and how I'm trying to help people. And so throughout this summer, we've done some family fun, we've gone on our family vacations, but we've also traveled a little bit by my choice, not because I have to, but because I love to travel. And there's an excuse to travel and get paid doing it while helping a lot of people, like wins all around, right? Right. So we decide to, I wanted to jump on a plane, okay? Because Georgia, I don't know, you guys, I'm Philly based. Okay, so Georgia is like 14 and a half hours away. And so easier to just pack up our bags, jump on a plane and fly there. But my child insists that he wants to see the world. He wants to see the United States. So we see the world, right? We drive, 7.5 hours, stop, stay in a beautiful hotel, drive another 7.5, 8 hours, and then did the same thing on the way back. And just going through these states, experiencing like the United States, which is so beautiful, and you forget that when you're working at a desk or you're working doing whatever you do and you just live in your area, and then you think of going to islands and this and that. I'm going on a tangent on down a bunny trail, I know that, but I'm just saying that taking it all in and observing it that way, as opposed to just microwave society, let's hurry up, get point A to point B, let's just, get to it, get to the point. Stopping and smelling the roses, stopping and taking it all in is really important. So we did that, and we're in Georgia, and shout out to all my beautiful, amazing partners in business that are building incredible teams and communities down there. I'm so proud of you guys. It was so awesome getting to meet so many of you for the first time. But my son, did he really just say that? Get this. I want you guys to really listen to this, because some of you may have kids, maybe even you as an adult are very, very shy, are very introverted. Introvert right here. Maybe you have, I don't know, maybe you're just incredibly, you stay in your comfort zone, in your little bubble, and you don't like to get out of it. Well, that's my little boy. Right now, he is downstairs playing video games. I told him I actually wanted him to come up here, but he said, no, Mom, you got this. So letting him enjoy his last few days before school starts. But he is really, really shy, you guys. And I haven't shared very much of my story, but little bits here and there. And me and him have been through quite a lot. That's kind of an understatement, but he is a resilient, amazing, old soul, kind. I'm bragging about my kid right now, but whatever. We all do that. And he's just an amazing person, but he's really shy and he doesn't speak up enough, and he doesn't have that confidence that we all want our kids to have, right? That we want our friends to have. Hell, we want ourselves to have, right? And he doesn't have that. And he never would walk into a room and just start openly talking to a bunch of grown-ups like he had known them forever and ever and ever. And I was lucky enough to be asked to be a presenter and share a whole bunch. I think it was four nights or 5 days or whatever it was, of all these different networking events where we were giving a presentation on this business that we're bringing to market in the United States and in other countries as well. And so I had the privilege and honor of doing that. And as I was giving this presentation, and I'm not a presenter, by the way. Those of you guys that know me know that I'm not stuffy. I'm not a corporate chick whatsoever. I'm really real. I like to build relationships and actually get to know people. And so it was very much like that. But when I was finished giving this talk and then, mingling and networking and chatting with these one-on-ones, I look out of the corner of my eye and I see my son just opening conversation, starting to give the presentation and the talk that I had just given. He's giving it in front of two strangers he had never met that came actually late and were really bummed that they missed it. And I'm watching this kid, you guys, come alive. And I'm sharing all this, and some of you may be like, this is so boring. What are you doing? Why are you sharing this? I'm sharing this because the power and influence you have over your own children. I know a lot of network marketers. I know a lot of entrepreneurs. I know a lot of small business owners that beat themselves up a lot. They get on themselves because they feel like they're always working and they love working. So it's really hard to kind of have those boundaries set in place. And they really get hard. They get on themselves. They think they should be doing it all. But at the end of the day, guys, we're all just people and we can't do 25 things at one time. And we do have to prioritize and we do have to set boundaries. And sometimes that's hard to do, especially when you love what you do. I totally understand that. Believe me. It's hard sometimes when, you feel like you should be playing Legos or doing a coloring book or going, on a play date, when really all you want to be doing, because you love work so much, is having a meeting, getting on the phone, doing, whatever, right? So I get that. But the impact that you have over your children, if you can, and this is for anyone, I don't care if you have a job, if you work for yourself, whatever, if you can include your children and bring them into your life instead of compartmentalizing and separating everything, you have no idea the impact that it has on that little person. That child of mine, over the summer, over 3 months, has completely come out of his shell in ways that I could never foreseen any of that, okay? And I think that is one of the most amazing outcomes of running a business for yourself, working for if you have a home-based business or whatever, right? Like sharing, bringing them in and including them in is not only fun and so powerful and just so fulfilling, but the outcome is so much bigger than you could have ever imagined. I mean, for me at least, right? So I'm seeing this child and I'm noticing it now with my friends, with his friends' parents, and his interactions with kids his age and adults. He is this totally different child. And yes, kids grow up and kids do mature. It's the natural sequence of events. But guys, that's not what this is. I'm telling you right now. I'm just mind blown. I had to share this with you because what did he really just say? My son just gave an adult, grown-up presentation and a talk without missing one beat, like one freaking beat, you guys. I mean, he nailed it. Like a little mini person doing a TED talk. That's what this was. That's what I saw. The tears, the feeling, the proud feeling. I mean, there is nothing like that. So if you can include your children more into what it is you're doing, especially if you're a business owner, because it is hard when you're growing a business and you're trying to get it to cash flow and you're trying to be profitable and you're trying to make impact, right? It's hard because you're grinding and you're hustling. And I totally mad respect and support for the hustler out there. But there are ways to bring your kids in and include them in and make them a part of it so that they don't end up resenting you and you don't end up resenting them. And it's mind blowing. And the last thing I want to share with you guys is this. I realized that I literally can travel everywhere, almost in every single state in the United States without ever having to pay for a hotel. How is that possible, Jen? How could that be? The other side effect of what it is that I do, if you're in networking, is the relationships. And the shift that I had mentioned earlier in this video is nobody wants to get online. The old tactics of salesmen and salespeople online, they do not work anymore. The pitching, the prospecting, the ways that have worked maybe in the past are not what's working right now. And that makes sense, right? Because times are always changing. We are always evolving. People catch on. People aren't dummies, for the most part. And so you always have to grow with the times, shift where you need to shift in business, right? And so networking and building relationships, and maybe that means, guys, I'm an introvert. I love building business online. I preach it all the time. But there is something pretty amazing and beautiful when you take a conversation and take someone, a total stranger online, offline. And you can really have that rapport and build that connection and that relationship in such a deep and meaningful way. And so when you do that, you actually make friends. And I know this is like kindergarten 101, like let's all get together and meet new people and make new friends. But your net worth is your network. We all hear that. We all have heard that. But have you really thought about that? Because it's not just about your personal organization and your personal business and your personal goals and objectives. It's really about how many friends can fill up my cup? How much can I impact them? How can I help them? And if you can't ask yourself at the end of the day, did I leave that conversation empowering that person? Did I leave that conversation having that person feel a little bit better about themselves? Did I provide them with any value? Did I educate them on something that they didn't know before? Can I be of service? Can I be a servant leader? If you can't say that, then you're doing it wrong, okay? So the fact is that all these relationships that I spent years building, but especially even in the last year alone, I have been traveling. And yes, we have stayed in hotels because my child is a little bit spoiled. That's probably my fault. We're like room service geeks. We love it. If you saw my stories, you know how much pretty pennies that I spent on room service. I'm embarrassed to say it, but you got to live it up sometimes, right? But we don't have to do that. And that like clicked for me. And I thought, oh my God, what another amazing gift that my son is now getting to be friends with other children that are my friends' kids all over the United States. Really. Like that is such an amazing thing that his network is being built because my network is being built. And he is traveling all over with me and, being able to stay you're building such strong relationships that you have people reaching out all the time. I want you to stay with me. Come stay with me. Let's get together. You're like, come, because you're actual friends. You guys, that is like, it is really cool. It is really, really cool. And that's all I can say about it is that, you grow up, you're an adult, you work for yourself, you do whatever, you have a job, you do whatever you do, and you get used to, maybe you have high school friends, maybe you have college friends, maybe you have neighborhood friends, and that's it. And if you're not continually trying to better yourself, bettering the people around you, and growing your network, that's fine if that's for you, no judgment. But the world is such a big place, and I believe in abundance. And I want to encourage you to really put people first. Again, no matter what you do, no matter who you are, whatever you do for a living, put people first. Make those relationships. It's not all about you. It's supposed to be about other people. And when you do that, it's life-changing on many, many levels. Have a good night, you guys.